This segment is sponsored by Saga Cigars. Every new blend borrows from the past, and the Saga Blend No. 7 has done just that. It's the perfect combination of timeless knowledge of traditional tobaccos and the newer balance that today's cigar enthusiasts come to expect and love in a fine cigar. Leveraging 6 generations of experience in the tradition of the Reyes family, the Saga Blend No. 7 delivers a unique, full-flavor, medium-bodied cigar. The cigar is highlighted by a Brazilian wrapper over a blend of Central American and Dominican tobacco. Available in 3 sizes at an affordable price, the Saga Blend No. 7 is sure to please and bring together past and present. And by Mr. J's Havana Smoke Shop, located here in Rhode Island. They have an outstanding selection of premium handmade cigars. Welcome back, everyone, to this segment on the Stogie Geek Show. The Stogie Geek Show.
Stogie Chic.
You like
there
that?
we go. It's
Stogie Chic.
yeah.
The Stogie
Well,
Chic.
pretty
Yes, I
chic-y.
like that. Stogie Chic. It's very nice. I do want to say that you will qualify to win a free Saga Cigars t-shirt, a Saga Cigars hat, and a Saga Cigars line sampler by listening to this segment and answering a question at the end. So, Will, I'm going to task you with listening to the interview and coming up with the question, and I will be kind of secondary on that. So we know I want to have a question at the end of this segment because we have a ton of stuff to give away, and we have Jean-Miche Louis, who's here sitting to my right. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes, and you're the man behind Saga Cigars.
Well, I'm the brand ambassador. I'm the one that you will see all over in the States.
Excellent.
Pushing
you're the face.
Saga brand.
Yes.
Exactly.
And also joining us in the studio, Mr. Stogie Santa. We just have a wonderful
Good
cast
evening.
of characters.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
evening.
Oh, we
yes.
got another character over in the
We
corner.
got Mr. Phil
Well,
Zangi's
Mr.
over there.
Phil
We're going to drag
Zangi
him
is
on
in
for the
house.
next segment.
Oh, absolutely.
This is just an epic
It's
Stogie.
a
Epic.
wonderful
Stogie
thing.
It really
show.
is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, Jean-Michel, how did you get your start in the cigar industry?
Well, it is, of course, a long story, but then it's well. When actually I got involved in the transport of the Davidoff cigars when they moved to Dominican Republic, and it was a legal.
When they moved from Cuba to the Dominican?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When they moved the production from Cuba to Dominican Republic, which was a bold move at the time, and they had all kinds of logistic problems. And at that time, I was working tourism. I was, of course, an aficionado, but I was working tourism mostly and airlines. And we took care of the transport for a while, and it got me involved with a lot of very interesting people. And of course, I had to do it. So that's how it starts. I had a couple of shops in Dominican Republic for a while, and excuse me, it's falling off. And it brought me even closer to the industry because it's a small island. I don't know if you heard of it. The natural continuation was to get back to the source where we actually produce the cigars.
Right.
So that, in very short, is the long story.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So what's the history of the Reyes family in the cigar business?
Well, it's a 6 generation long. In Santiago, every family was a long lineage. At a certain point, was involved with cigars. Here, it's more than involvement. It started 6 generations ago by growing tobacco. That's the whole idea. The cigars, as you know, there were not that many brands in Dominican Republic, so it came up a little bit later. But and it really the 5th generation, Augusto Reyes, is right now our guru. Is the one who leads us, even though the factory is led by the 6th generation in the person of Nirka, which is Augusto Reyes' daughter. And what can I say? They're involved at every level. I mean, Leo Reyes, Augusto's brother, is probably the biggest growers in Havana seeds in Dominican Republic. Gets us all kinds of special products that we like to showcase in cigars like Saga.
So the Reyes family has the farms?
Yes.
Where they get the tobacco?
Yes.
And then they're manufactured in the same factory as Debonair? Because Phil said when you guys work in the same...
Yeah, effectively, yeah. Well, when it comes to walls and everything,
Yeah.
yes, it's definitely the same. I'm like every day when I go to work, I come from Puerto Plata every day. I do actually a lot of driving, and so I come in a little bit later, and Phil is in my office having coffee, and the reason is his office is like really far away from production, and I don't know if you got that from the character, but he likes to be near production, so the office is just nearer. So that's how close we
What's
work.
that like working in the same factory as Phil?
Yeah, it's funny. We're having a good time. This is already with the Reyes. It's a family atmosphere. It's really a family atmosphere. I'm just in the position that I hope I'll be an adopted child sometimes. I'm right now. I'm at the Robert Duvall stage. You know, the weird blonde guy in a corner with an accent that, by the way, my friend Phil's described as half Pepe Le Pew, half the bad guy in Die Hard. Take a second to think of
Very
that.
accurate, Phil.
It is
very accurate.
I
Ninja-like.
totally endorse it. It's totally me. And,
You should just go with that.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Yeah,
of
that's
course. I mean, who doesn't know in the United States? Who doesn't know Hans Gruber? Everybody knows Hans Gruber and Pepe Le Pew, of course.
Of course.
So try to shake it up, and that's what
That's
you
awesome.
get. So I'm in that position where I'm just a weird blonde guy right there, but I'm always there.
Right.
That's the idea.
So, tell me about the blend number 7. I have to say that, just to start that off, I'm really a huge fan of this blend. I like to smoke these in the morning, actually. I find it mild enough for me to smoke in the morning.
It's a true medium body. It's a true medium body, yet it's very clean. It's full flavored because it has all, the whole Saga line is Habano seeds. That's what we like. That's what we do. But the Golden Age on one hand and the Blend 7 on the other don't share any tobacco. And I like to summarize it by saying that
By dropping it?
no, that you did that. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Just to be supportive.
I've
Blend
had bad
7
luck this week. I ashed in my lunch this week. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
To summarize it, the Blend 7 is what modernity allows us to do, and the Golden Age is what tradition permits us to do. It's really like that, because the Blend number 7 is really an array from different countries of the Habano seed. It's a great selection. The wrapper, which brings this Brazilian, I say there are woodsy notes, but not in the classical sense. When we use the word woodsy notes in a cigar, we're more after the cedary notes, and to me, it's more like maple wood because of the sweets of the Habano seeds. And then with the filler who has some both from Nicaragua and Honduras, both from Jalapa and Jamastran, as a touch, it's really just to enroll all the sweets, all the different sweets available in the vast array of Habano seeds. It's a true medium body cigar, and what I really like about it is how clean it is. It is really clean. It's something who doesn't give you an aftertaste, which is quite different than other Brazilian tobaccos around who will stay with you a lot longer. Some people like that. Right. Wrong, but this is a clean. It's a true medium body, but full flavor. And I know it's been used a whole lot to say full flavor, but really in this case, if you tell me you like it, then you might agree with me.
Yes, I do. I definitely agree.
Truly,
I agree.
Absolutely.
Truly full flavor.
So what sizes does the blend number 7 come in?
It comes in 3 sizes, and as I say, it's modernity. So the robust is and the robusto. Excuse me, it's the Pepe Le Pew going out again. Let's Hans Gruber talk a little bit. The Robusto is slightly longer than you usually find the Robusto. It's a 5.5 by 50. You're smoking right now a Perfecto, and Perfecto traditionally are small cigars. This is a big Perfecto, so that's modernity again. And we have a Toro Gordo, which is a 58 by 6.5. So it's a big cigar. We'll get you through the 9 first holes of golf. And
yeah, I like the Grand. It's Grand Toro or Toro
Gordo?
Toro Gordo. I like that one a lot. I think in the morning I like that one the best. It tends to kind of amp down the strength for me in that size more than the other ones.
It usually does.
Because larger ring gauge slightly.
Of course,
yeah.
but I'll make a point to explain that in the Golden Age it's exactly the way around. But that's,
really?
that's the exception.
Yeah. I haven't smoked the larger sizes in the Golden Age yet. I haven't gotten there yet. I've smoked the Robusto smaller sizes, yeah.
You're probably missing something.
Yeah.
Now, is that the first time with the Perfecto, Paul?
This is my second Perfecto.
No, I think the Perfecto, it does a great job with that
I think
cigar.
it concentrates. The flavors, I think, are a little bolder in the Perfecto than the Toro Grande.
I wouldn't say so much bolder. I don't think that's a correct terminology.
It's different. I can't, it's tough for me to use my words to describe it, but the flavors, the way they're presented for me, are different in the.
I just love
the Toro
way
Grande and the Perfecto.
The construction of the cigar, but it gives me more of the flavor of what he's using in the Habano, and it just really it opens that cigar right up on the head, and he's starting the head. It just explodes with flavor.
Yeah,
it just sets it off for me. That's the first one I smoked this morning or this afternoon I had, and I was impressed with that. I really did. It's the first time. That Perfecto is a really sexy looking cigar. It really is.
You're right. It is sexy looking. I mean
and
the shape, the color of the wrapper, balanced with the bands. Yeah, you did a very nice job.
It does.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
we had
really
sexy
nice.
in mind, but
Not quite like that.
not really. We always have it.
Well, with your
We always
accent,
have
how
sexy
can you
in
not?
mind. I mean, that's for others.
You say
Again,
sexy, it sounds
we always
sexy.
have. But it's true. It is my favorite side, probably because of this explosion, as you
Yeah,
said at the
exactly.
beginning. It really
Yeah.
opens up in a
Boom.
way that, and the experience builds up from there, and which is very particular of Havana seeds. When you get such a concentrate quantity of oils and richness in tobacco, the more you heat it up, and the more they bloom, and you get more sweets revealing, and then you have the spice of the wrapper going out a little bit, and it's a little spice, and it's not every other spice. It's really special, and it opens up. That's why we say this is truly a full flavor cigar.
And look at the mascara on the cigar right there. Nice and black, shiny. You know what I mean? I like that.
That's a golden age, though.
Yeah, it is. I call it mascara on a cigar. I really do. You get that little charcoal.
You're right. That
it's-
mascara line has
Well,
to. It has to look a certain way, right? It has to look a certain
Come
way.
on now, I'm not going there with
In
that. But
Cuban
it's
cigars, you say you can see the soil in it.
yeah, exactly. We all have terminology that are different, but it performed well. I was really very happy with that cigar this afternoon. I scrutinized that cigar quite well, and it performed. And right down to the end, the best part, and all the cigars, the combustion rate is awesome. You know, I'm big with that, and it's just delivered very well.
No, I agree. So tell us about the Saga Golden Age.
Well, the golden age is, well, I said that the blend number 7 is what modernity brings us. This is really what tradition allows us to do. The first thing I'll say about the golden age is that not only the Dominican puro, wrapper, filler, and binder are Dominican, but it's more than that. It's what was tradition. Before the 60s, nobody was importing a wrapper, even buying it to his neighbor. A cigar was one farmer product. And this is all from one farm. It's Leo Reyes farm. It's done with the heart from top to bottom. But what's really special about this is that it is the original Piloto Cubano seed. And that's quite interesting because before being a professional, I am an amateur. I like my cigars. I normally says that, no, aficionado, no, I'm an apasionado, which carry the words passion. And I really believe that because of this original seed, every true cigar smoker had to try this cigar because we made that cigar trying to do as close as a cigar had to be before the 60s. And I'm using this expression not because of my poor English, but because I really mean it. Nobody's alive to contradict us or not. But it's the original seed. You see, when in the 60s, the Cubans bring for the first time cigar brands globally, that a cigar brand is known from London to New York, they go through, I mean, they have a pressure to produce more, and they go through this huge hybrid program. And basically everything that we smoke now from Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua, from wherever you want, is a child of that hybrid program. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan. The blend number 7 is fully a child of that hybrid program. I am a fan. But the Cubans are really methodical about those things, and they kept the original seed alive. And the way you do that is basically you replant it every 4 years or so. Otherwise, you just might take the chance that it won't bloom again. And it was brought in the Dominican Republic by the Reyes in the 90s, and we kept it alive as well. And that's it. We decided to make a cigar out of it, something that was as authentic and as traditional as a cigar can be. And what's really interesting about the Golden Age is that it's really, we were saying about sizes and ring gauge, and it develops a
So the Sagas are different sizes. Correct.
Completely. You have traditional sizes. We have a Lancero, actually, and you cannot be more traditional than a Lancero. They're all pigtailed, and we have a Robusto. We have a Corona Grande, which is basically a 46 by 5 1/4. It's just a little bit thicker than a Corona is normally. And this is the Toro. It's a 52 by 6. Contrarily to all the brands who are around there, this cigar being filler-driven, the thicker the ring gauge and the more power it will develop. Usually, you go to a Lancero because it's the concentration of the plant. You get the ratio filler wrapper is a lot different than when you take a larger ring gauge, and you get normally a stronger cigar. In a line, usually the thinner the ring gauge, because of the strength, and I'm going to use that word again because I like to say power in this specific case, it comes from the wrapper and probably the binder, but hardly from the filler, because this is so filler driven you get the power from the filler, and the larger the ring gauge, and actually the more power you'll feel about it. This is a cigar effectively. You smoke it sitting down. There is no aggression in your palate. We call it medium to full because of that. But when you stand up, you might feel the effects of it.
Yeah, I know it's certainly stronger than the blend number 7, but I think medium full is definitely the. I haven't tried it. I got to try the larger ring gauge. Now
You
that
should.
say that. Yeah,
You should. So
later
you
in the
should.
day after a meal kind of thing, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know.
I like to make a difference in between what's strength and power, because strength is often misconstrued with aggression in your palate. Oh, this is rough, this is strong, and it may not be. And the way around, you can have a cigar who's absolutely not aggressive in your palate, which is really smooth and balanced, and yet when it gets to your bloodstream, you say, well, that was a cigar. And I think that's definitely the case for the Golden Age.
Very nice. Will, did you have questions for Jean-Michel?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's great. So first up, just comment. I'm actually smoking this is my first night I'm smoking the Perfecto in the blend number 7, and you guys described the exact experience I'm having. And this is the first time I've smoked the Perfecto. So how it's just building up, it's amazing. So I'm really enjoying it as well. Jean-Michel, a little about so Reyes has they've been in all aspects of the cigar business for a long time, but I guess in the last couple of years, there's been some changes in the overall portfolio. Are there things you can discuss about that?
Well, if you mean I can't discuss about it, am I authorized? Yes, of course.
Okay.
We don't hide anything from anyone.
Okay.
The factory, Augusto Reyes, has been around effectively for a few decades now, and basically every experience has been tried around the cigar business, like massive volume, short filler cigars, and the factory was quite big. 3 years ago, starting to be 4 years ago, the plan was to actually do it completely differently. And what we actually do is we kept the rollers we wanted, the supervisor we wanted, and we really went to what is a boutique factory. It's very pretty. It has very nice decoration. You can meet people like Phil in there. But it allows us to use the major force we have in the group, because it's a huge group by producing tobacco and partners producing all kinds of products around tobacco. We have access to every material, and we use that access, of course, to bring very special cigars. And one of the things we do actually is we're really proud ourselves to never do two cigars who are even remotely alike. We have access to everything, even though we like to play with Havana seed a whole lot. We do cigars where all of them are drastically different from the others. And it's the case for the 2 lines here in the Saga brand, and it's the case for every cigar we manufacture for other customers.
I think the Saga and the Golden Age, they actually complement each other in their own different ways.
They do.
You know, it gave you different experiences on each end of the spectrum. I think it covers a broad spectrum of a cigar tasting, from that mild medium to a medium body, but each and every one delivers a unique flavor profile that covers almost not the total spectrum, but a good deal of it.
Well, I've been smoking a lot of them, and I kind of agree. Yeah. There is a moment there is a right moment for all of the Sagas.
Yeah, there.
Well, that's very well put.
No, that's the way how I look at it. So
what's the price point?
Well, it's actually a cigar. The Blend 7 starts at $650 till $8, and the Golden Age is at $850 to $998, just to stay under the $10. Of course, different states have different taxes.
Yeah, no,
and it will change a little bit, but the MSRP stays there because we really want to enter. It's a boutique cigar, and yet it's a cigar that's accessible.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful.
You know, the one thing I did notice, too, when I smoked through the Golden Age, I definitely got an old school feel for it. However, that was a cigar at the same time. It can very much satisfy the contemporary smoker. Namely, like you guys were talking about, how some of that power builds in the second half of that cigar.
It does. It catches
and it
you
snuck
by
up on me.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
absolutely.
I smoked it for the first time at the trade show. I was sitting with Jean-Michel. We had a great time, and actually laughing in that booze. I remember that day. But, you know, your palate's a little shot. And when I started smoking these on a clean palate, I really picked up that power, and I wasn't expecting it. And this kind of validated it for me tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to smoke on a fresh palate, so I lit up kind of like first thing in the morning. Not the right cigar first thing in the morning.
That's
You
what
should
Paul
light
did.
it
Not
first.
start by
Saga
a
Golden
Toro
Age.
The
Robusto.
no.
Yeah,
Well, for me,
Or do not use heavy machinery or
Yes,
or your
yeah.
car.
Yeah,
Or
I had
your
a tough
washing
time
machine. I
getting
don't
up.
know how skilled
Yeah,
you
I had
are,
a tough
but
time getting up.
it did. And when you first came down to our store, the same thing with the Golden Age. It just sneaks up on you.
It does,
really does,
yeah,
and
yeah.
in a good way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
because
was,
of the non-aggression in your palate. You don't
Exactly.
expect it to find that
That's
power
a great
with it.
terminology. It really is. When you're talking about power and strength, a good way to put it.
No, I agree. It was powerful, but like you said, it didn't have any kind of the harshness that you associate with something like strength. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. No,
You know what you got to do? Have you got a picture of the box by any chance?
I don't.
You got a box with you by any chance?
Yes, I do, but right over there.
Phil, could
Yeah,
you bring
you
those
know-
up, please?
Jean-Michel, you were kind of to send us a lot of those sampler packs.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have the box, but and I had to break into a couple different sampler packs to give people some cigars to try, who all like them very, very much.
There you go.
Look at
Hey,
this. Look,
hey.
Phil Zangi
It's the hands
delivering
of Phil
the cigars.
See that?
He's like the
The man
Vanna
of all
White
trades.
no,
of
he's going to be like
cigars.
Vanna White. There we go. Vanna White.
So, as you can see, it's exactly. I think it depicts that the cigar is recognizable like that, because I say about modernity, this is a rather modern look for a box of cigars, and this is more of a classic look.
More traditional, yeah. I was going to
it's-
say it looks more traditional.
It
Yes.
is wood, it is paper glued on it, and that's the way it looks.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
absolutely.
So now you have another line called the Don Julio. Is that correct?
And my rule of it is if you don't ask of it, I don't say anything.
Yeah.
You did ask of it,
I
and I
asked.
swear it was not prepared. But this is a tribute cigar. This is a cigar that was done in memory of Don Julio Reyes, third generation.
Oh, so not tequila, right? That's
It's
different.
absolutely not related.
Different
Don't go
person.
there.
And I've been doing some extreme pairing lately with cigars, but tequila is not one of them.
Oh, well, after this segment, I'll give you one of my
we'll
change
try
of minds.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
we'll do that. But Don Julio, no, it's really an existing. Well, not anymore. He left us, but he lived to be 94, 96 years old. So it's not like an historic figure nobody knew. I mean, Nirka, our CEO, got to play with him, to know him. And so this cigar was really done with him in mind. It was essential in bringing the Cuban seeds in Dominican Republic. So it's somebody who's cherished in our group, in our family. And this cigar was done with really, really special materials. It's a cigar that when you read what's in the cigar, you may think, well, it should be easier to light a rock or a brick, because it's triligeros, and whole from really rich tobacco strains like the HBA, the 2020. It has a corojo binder, a corojo wrapper, and the corojo is like leather. It's really beautiful. But it shouldn't light. But because of the secret of that cigar, it's the processing and the aging of the tobaccos. The youngest of the tobaccos who's part of that blend is 5 years old. And we keep it a good year and a half before it ever hits somewhere else. And what's interesting as well, the presentation, that I do not have a box, it is presented in pressed tobacco. And so it's, some boxes, there are manufacturers who have loose tobacco flying around and everything, but this is really hydraulically pressed. And then what's interesting is that the whole box, it's in a box within a box. So the box of tobacco has to be treated as a cigar. You need to age it.
Right,
you need to keep it in an aging room. As a cigar, it's just a very big cigar.
So is that like a limited production for you?
It is definitely a limited production, because it's something we really treat apart. The Don Julio is never given out as samples.
And you age the box because there's pressed tobacco in it, right? So
we age the pressed tobacco. The box really, I mean,
Yeah.
God took care of that by cutting
But
the
for all
trees
intents
and
and
everything.
purposes, if I have a box, I want to put that in my full thing in my humidor. Because some cigars, because of space constraints, right? I may take the box and I may take all the cigars out of it and put the
If
cigars in a tray.
space is-
This one, I want to put the whole box in my. That's what I was getting. I want to put the whole box in my humidor.
But if space is a concern, probably the Don Julio is not your thing, because it's a really rather large
Yeah,
box.
large
because
box, yeah.
This pressed cigar, it's not half a inch thick. It's really,
Yeah.
it has a couple of inches actually. It's really big. It's something. The box is red and shiny. It's a special. It's a special.
Awesome
thing.
cigar.
yeah. So it's a box you'd want to save anyhow.
It's a box anyway. Yeah, I think it's a box. No matter what, will have a second life.
You're gonna want. Yeah, you're gonna want to.
I don't know.
Make
You'll fight it
space
up
for
with your wife. She wants to keep it for something else. But it's a box that will have a second life.
Chris, maybe we can get some pictures of the Saga cigar boxes because we don't actually have those in studio. So make sure we get some pictures of those. Chris wears a lot of hats here.
Yeah, I think Quist does.
Chris wears a lot of hats. You know,
I think he needs some ice cream.
The Wascally Wabbit, Chris. He does a lot of production assistant work and photography and a lot of other things.
Jack of all trades.
He is.
Website design.
Website design. Yes. Will, did you have any final questions for Jean-Michel?
So as Jean-Michel, you're heading into IPCPR. Are there any plans for any new lines, any line extensions, anything you could talk about?
There are many plans and many trials, but really, we really want the Saga line to enter. We launched at the last IPCPR, but we really started shipping in November. And so it's a rather young introduction to the market. And we really think that that we need to have those two lines, the blend number 7 and the Golden Age, really in foot in the audience in general, before we start with really something else. We have a size ready. We have a size ready, but it's still out there. So I can tell you that we're still not decided.
I think you're going to see a lot of momentum this summer with the cigar. I really do.
I do too. I was down in Texas at a shop, I think that both you and Phil know, called Underground. And I got to know those guys, and they're very, very particular on what they like to smoke. When I got back, I saw them starting to post pictures of the Saga. And I know believe me, those guys like it. So when they like it, I know the cigar is the real deal. So I'm just thrilled that, to have you guys on board here and to be a part of it in some way.
Well, effectively, the acceptance in Texas was quite good, and I was actually very happy to have those phenomenal people there at the UG, L Training on Wiggins, to actually endorse the cigar.
They are characters.
They are unbelievable. They are in this world. I think I'm so happy we have them in the industry in general, and they're following. Just it's impressive. Everybody dares to say anything, and it's really interesting to follow. And they endorse the Saga in full, and effectively, that made me kind of proud.
You should be. Like I said, they're very, they have really good palates, and they're very, they're very objective in terms of what they do. I know those guys. Are you, in terms of the market right now, I know you have obviously a presence in New England, a presence in the Texas area. Are there other markets you're going to be targeting the cigar that maybe we can see you, maybe coming on the road, and maybe the Southeast, the Central? Where is Saga going to be heading next?
Well, because of the word to mouth, we're little by little entering different places. But really, as far as targeting, I believe that being a newer brand, the whole New England and definitely the whole Texas, which is a very big state. Everything is bigger in Texas.
That's the truth.
It's right now for my short term. It's definitely what I have in mind as far as targeting. But it just so happens people travel, people go, they talk about the brand, we get contact. We've been around for a long time. The Reyes family has been around for a long time. They know a lot of people all the United States, and so we're entering slowly in different. But in terms of targeting, I believe I have enough on my plate right now.
That will change, though. I guarantee
it.
No one's more driven. That will change.
Absolutely.
Jean-Michel, 5 questions.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Well,
this is the part of the show where we ask you.
These are the original 5 questions. I just want to tell you.
The original.
I've had these
5 questions.
These were developed on my other show. I brought them over to this show. So both my shows now, all my guests I asked, pretty much now we've solidified on the same 5 questions.
And they're all related to cigars, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
They're all pretty ridiculous.
Not at all.
Okay, perfect. I like that.
All right. 3 words to describe yourself.
Tall, fat, blonde.
I would have said bald itself.
If you were a serial killer, what would be your weapon of choice?
Most probably the cookery, because I own a personal collection, which is vast enough. So most probably, you see, it's both a hatchet and a knife.
Nice, nice. If you wrote a book about yourself, what would the title be?
Are you still reading this?
There you go.
In the popular game of Ask Grabby Grabby, do you prefer to go first or second?
I probably will kick first, so I'll go first.
First. Choose 2 celebrities to be your parents.
Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. I'll take the Brad Jolie couple. I'll take them because
Who's that?
the Angelina Jolie,
Angelina
Brad
Jolie
Pitt.
and Brad Pitt. You
I'll
know,
take them. They're busy. They have money. It's perfect.
that is the most popular answer to that question. I've asked that
course.
question for years on the show. That's the most popular answer.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
It-
Angelina Jolie.
That's okay.
Angelina
When it comes to
Jolie.
my-
Over the time I've been associated with the show, that's like only the second or third time I've heard it.
On the other show, though,
okay,
excuse
okay, I got
excuse
you.
the answer.
Think of it. It's a logical sense. I mean, you have to bear with the fact that you'll be the ugly one in the family, but still,
No, tall, fat, and blonde.
they're like busy. They're busy all the time. They travel the world. They probably leave a
God
lot
bless
of cash, to just to spend a week. I mean,
That's right.
so probably a bit tough when you're really
new
small. But
electrifying
as soon as
character in
puberty
this
hits,
industry.
you don't want better parents. I mean,
He
it's
is
perfect.
something. I'll tell you.
What's your favorite Angelina Jolie movie?
I'm not sure.
I think the Golden Age cigars, just like he is. He just grows on you more and more
More and more and more.
And it's just a fantastic scenario. It really is.
Now-
That's what it's all about.
For
It
us in
truly
computer
is.
security, Angelina Jolie was in Hackers.
Oh, that's
It's
why.
true. She
So
was-
that's, yeah. that's-
But Brad Pitt?
not with Brad Pitt, no.
Okay.
I'm probably not the biggest Angelina Jolie fan. I mean,
Yeah.
really, you asked me about parents, not girlfriend. I mean,
So, yeah, that's
parents, I will go
That's
for
true.
her for parent.
Jean-Michel, thank you very much for appearing on the Stoic Geek Show.
Thank
It's
you for
wonderful
having
having you.
We got
Yes,
our
we're-
giveaway.
Oh,
Giveaway.
yeah, our question before we go. Will, what's our question going to be? I had one. Hold on. Okay, Jean-Michel's accent. What 2 characters make up Jean-Michel's accent? Answer that question. Send the answer to the show at StoigicGeeks.com, and you will win. The first person to win to answer correctly will win a Saga Cigars T-shirt, Saga Cigars hat, and a Saga Cigars line sampler of both Saga Golden Age and the blend number 7 in those packs that you sent us. Thank you very much. You'll win all of that. Send the answer to the show at StoigicGeeks.com. First answer wins. What 2 characters make up Jean-Michel's accent?
That is a great
How do you
cigar
like that?
question. No,
It's good.
I'm in.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Stay tuned. We're coming up with the Debonair Ideal segment with a special cameo guest appearance by none other than Phil Zangi. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Look at that. That's beautiful.